Greetings together. Today I will show you the famous microgenius IQ501 Perfect, which was a Famicom clone in the early 90s. It was built in Taiwan, and another name for this console was Dendy Classic, which was sold in Russia at the beginning of the 1990s. And yeah, this little thing is very famous in these regions of the world. It was very successful in the Russian market, named as Dendy Classic, and is a Famicom clone for 50 Hz PAL televisions, and has some advantages. If you have a Famicom, you know that the joypads are hardwired in the console. In this case, you have the possibility to plug in your joysticks on the left and the right side. This is for player 1, the left side, with the 50-pin connection. This is for player 2, on the other side. It has the same shape like the extension port on the original Famicom, but there's no compatibility between the two joypads. I think because of the wiring inside. I have no idea why. Yeah, and some advantage is this here, that it will automatically close the module port. This is the back side of the console for power AC adapter, video and audio outputs, and of course the good old RF output. Yeah, this is another advantage. If you see the original Famicom, you have just RF, but you have to imagine that the Famicom was built 1983 and composite was very high tech, or maybe it wasn't almost there. This is the underside here. You see the power input, and it's the same like the original Famicom. So if you have AC adapter working in Germany or European countries, then it will also work with this console. Also serial number. It was very high quality build. It's better than the most clones of today. It's better than some RES system or Yobo FC or Retron 123, I don't know. The buttons are also very good shape. This power, it has an LED light, another advantage about the Famicom. Reset button and the button to put off the cartridge. Yeah, and it's very famous in Mother Russia. Another disadvantage is that it just has a PAL output. In some consoles you have here a switch. In mine it's just a hole where you can select between 50 or 60 Hz. But this thing here is just PAL. But I can deal with it, I can live with it. If you have some PAL cartridges, you should play them almost like original NES. But you have to think about that some PAL games have a different sound pitch, because the main chip of the NES had a different frequency. So the sound is also a little bit distorted in PAL games if you use this with the microgenius. EverDrive N8 is also working with them. And I will show you that whole thing in action in a few moments. So I plugged in Castlevania 3, the original Japanese version. Another great thing about this thing is that all the extra chips built in some Famicom cartridges will be played. So in this case the extra sound is also hearable. I plugged it in my HD TV with RF because of that retro feeling. As you can listen, it's exactly the same sound like on the original Famicom, but the speed is a little bit slowed down, 17%. The difference between 25 frames per second and 30 frames per second for NTSC. Beautiful Japanese, I don't understand anything, but it's not very important. You have to kill Dracula at the end of the game. If you reach the end, because it's a very, very hard game, you can enter your name, English, you, and you can see the sound, or can listen, the sound is beautiful. And now the game starts. I'm playing with just one hand, because I have to hold my mobile phone. Yeah, the picture quality is not as great as the Famicom if you have modded it for AV. In this case it's RF. RF is okay, in my opinion. I think a little bit better than the PAL NES. The disadvantage because of the picture quality is that you have a lot of jail bars in the picture. Maybe you can see it if you look at the gray colors on the screen. But you have to think about if you have some PAL games and a PAL console, even if the sound is at the same speed like the NTSC counterpart, the gameplay is mostly, with a few exceptions, the same as if you play a 60 Hz game on a 50 Hz machine. But you see, it's playing flawlessly. Yeah. Let's have a look at the joypads. This is the typical Microgenius Dendy Classic joypad with the two turbo buttons, the circle up D-pad, start and select. But the joypad is, better than the most joypads today for some clone consoles. It's not as great as original NES controllers, a little bit lighter and a little bit cheaper, but not much. And we have to think about this console is also almost 20 years old and everything is working flawlessly. I bought this on eBay for I think €50 or something. That must be $70. But yeah, if you have some PAL games, this thing is very great, and yeah, it's almost better than the original Famicom. The other disadvantage is, as I said before, the 50 Hz. Some players or some modders was able to swap the PPU and the main processor and make this a complete Famicom again. But I'm not as good in soldering, so I have to let it this way. Yeah, my final thoughts about this thing is it's a great Famiclone. It's one of the early Famiclones, and there are, as you know, the best Famiclones you can buy. It completely was done illegal, and the motherboard is almost the same like an original thing. And if you see something on the flea market or on eBay and you were able to buy it with a low price, I have to say, just buy it. And this is a huge cult machine in Russia with the other name, Dendy Classic. Here's Microgenius. It was done, I think, for the Asian market. The another name for that thing is the Pegasus in Poland. But I think it's better because it's a top loader. It's better than a regular PAL NES, and the prices for PAL NESs are also at the moment very high. You can buy a console for 30 to 40 euro per eBay, and I say this thing is great, and if you see it, buy it. See you later.